Hello, and welcome back to Too Many Books, where I have too many books. And as I sort through my collection, I will showcase various editions for certain titles. Today, I want to show you the editions I own for Unfettered II, the anthology edited by Shawn Speakman. This was his 2016 follow-up to 2013's Unfettered. I did do my very first Too Many Books video on Unfettered, so I encourage you to check that out. Full disclosure, this is not the most comprehensive list of editions. There very well could be other editions out there that I don't own. If I know about it, I will talk about it in this video. So Unfettered, the very first one, was the collection that started Grim Oak Press. Unfettered II was Shawn Speakman's way of collecting and raising funds to help other authors with their own medical bills. Unfettered I helped him with his own medical bills. Unfettered II helps others, featuring a who's who of fantasy authors. It is incredible. Just like Unfettered I, he did start with a hardcover arc featuring, I don't even know if you can call this preliminary artwork by Todd Lockwood. It really just seems like he took the finished artwork and kind of, cropped it a little bit. But whatever. It was limited to 250 copies, just like the Unfettered I anthology hardcover arc. Just like the Unfettered I, I do have several signatures here. It's personalized, too. Signed by Shawn Speakman, Sarah Beth Durst, Rachel Kane, and Todd Lockwood, featuring a little Todd Lockwood dragon remark, which is fantastic. The arc is, nothing fancy. It's a glued spine arc, but it does feature the foreword and the introduction. The arc for Unfettered I did not have both. This one does. As far as everything else goes, it's just your normal who's who diving in. One thing I should say is that this does have, unlike the Unfettered I arc, this does have the additional artwork in front of each short story. But instead of Todd Lockwood doing it for this novel, like he did with the first Unfettered, it's actually Don Mates, legendary fantasy illustrator Don Mates, who's done plenty of cover artwork and illustrations throughout the years, including some Stephen King artwork, while he was drafted to knock the little pieces out of the park for Unfettered II. Unfettered II is actually a tribute, in a way, to Shawn Speakman's mother, who has since passed. So on that artwork, which, let me pull out the trade edition here. The trade edition, on that artwork, we have a beautiful rendition of Shawn Speakman's mother in her field. Interesting enough, the arc actually has a larger foil stamping than the trade edition does, which is surprising. But anyways, here is the full artwork by Todd Lockwood. If you're thinking, man, look at all his words there in the way, well, I got good news for you. The numbered edition does not have said words. We'll look at that momentarily. So the arc out of the way, we do have our trade edition. Once again, it is a glued spine, but it is cloth bound. Very, very nice. This is signed for me by Shawn Speakman. Nothing fancy, just a little elvish scribble there. The contents are actually going to be the exact same as the arc. It's still going to have the Don Mates illustrations. It's still going to have the great short stories from the masters of the genre. Don Mates just kicks ass. Dude is a legend. One of the common things you're going to find out with this Too Many Books series is that I have too many books to actually read them all. One day, I will read them all, but today is not that day. So unfortunately, I have not read Unfettered II yet. Let's move on to the numbered edition here. Once I do read it, I will do a book review on the channel here. The numbered edition does come with this nice bonded leather slipcase, which is something I didn't have for the first Unfettered because I didn't have the numbered edition. Very, very nice. But you can actually see that the paper is actually a little bit nicer paper. Or maybe it's just the boards. It's a little bit thicker than the trade edition. But, take that as you will. But one of the criticisms I have found with several of these anthologies, particularly the first Unfettered anthology, is that many of the short stories within take place within the worlds of the various authors' imaginations. And because it takes place in those various worlds, you might be left in the dust if you're not familiar with their independent works, which is a shame. So the numbered edition does feature this bonded leather binding that Grimo Press is known for. It does have the frontispiece, which is the same as the cover artwork by Todd Lockwood, and it does have an abundance of signatures from everybody involved, including Naomi Novik. She doesn't sign much anymore. She does a lot of stamps, but this one is a legitimate signature from her. But anyways, New Tales from Masters of Fantasy. The numbered edition does have the same contents within. But hey, you know, it has slightly nicer paper. At least it feels slightly nicer. I couldn't find any details online about the paper type, but it feels slightly better than what you're getting from the trade edition. The numbered edition, believe it or not, actually still available on Grimo Press's site. I mean, it is a more pricier volume, but given that it's 8 years old, it's especially impressive. And the trade editions, I believe, are also still available. The ARCs are sold out. That's just bound to happen. 250 copies. It's very cheap and affordable. But you can still find the trade edition. We are coming up on the 10th anniversary edition. As of right now, I don't believe there's any paperback copies out there. It's entirely possible that there might be like a trade paperback ARC out there that I don't own, that I don't know about. But hey, I don't know about it, so it is what it is. So there, my friends, are 3 editions that I own of Unfettered II by Shawn Speakman. Like I said, the trade edition and the numbered edition are still both available on their site. Link in the description below if you want to check those out. I'm going to follow this up with, of course, Unfettered III, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out the video as I showcase the various editions of Unfettered III that Grimo Press has released. I have at least 1 book review a week, as well as plenty of other unboxing videos to hold you over in between those, so plenty to check out. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.